In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your crankshaft position sensor. Let's get started. Now from underneath, you'll see that this splash shield is in the way. It has a few push clips around here, but I'm going to start with removing those two 10mm bolts that are there. That's going to give us the most access to this area because what we're after is right behind this. Okay, now with this shield out of the way, you'll see that the crankshaft position sensor bolts on right here. So with a 10mm wrench, let's break the bolt free and try to get it completely out of here. I'm going to grab this with some pliers and very gently give it a twist. Okay, now that I've given it a couple twists to break it free, I'm just going to try to walk it out of here. The only thing holding it on is going to be the O-ring. So pry it out, yep, just like that. Be very gentle. You definitely don't want to break that inside there, because if you do, you're going to be taking the whole timing cover off. There it is. Okay, let's set that right here. There's another 10mm bolt up top that we have to unbolt. Take that out. Now this bracket that holds the sensor is loose. Now from up top, if you look between the intake and the alternator, right where my flashlight is shining really bright, you'll see a white and gray connector. That is actually the connector for the crankshaft position sensor. And because I'm going to show you a close-up of how I disconnect it, I want to show you how I'm going to reach it. I'm going to stick a screwdriver, a long screwdriver through here. This is going to help me pop it off as well as unclip it. And my other hand can reach between the fan and the intake, underneath the intake, up and over to the sensor itself. You don't have to remove anything else to reach it. Now, if you wanted to and you couldn't reach it, you can either remove the intake or remove the alternator. But I'm going to do it this way. There is no right or wrong way here. It's just a matter of how you can get to it. I'm actually going to try to disconnect it first, or at least pop this part of the connector out. Okay, that's it. It's unclipped. So now we have to pop it off of the retainer here. Oh, there we go. Wiring harness is completely disconnected now. Perfect. Okay, that works too. That's disconnected. It's a little bit difficult to see, but now through the belt area, you can reach it and pull it through and just wiggle the other end of the wire. Try to get the connector to come out of there. There it is. Off of the old sensor, we need to transfer this bracket over to the new one that comes with the clip, but it doesn't come with the bracket. So use some pliers, squish the two tabs down so you can slide the clip through the bracket. There we go. In the same orientation, let's reconnect the bracket to the new sensor. You can do this now or you can do it later, it doesn't matter. Press this down all the way, make sure it's secured. Let's get the new one in, slide it down, try to fish it through the same opening. This is going to be the tough part, is fishing it through the same opening. If you look very carefully between the alternator intake and AC compressor, there's my connector. I'm just going to keep sliding it until it completely clears the AC compressor. I know this is difficult to see, but now that that's through to almost the other side of the AC compressor, I can stick my hand down here, pinch it, and pull it through. And then I can bring it up over here where I can connect it. Let's get this wire back in. Here's the crank sensor connector end. Okay, I got them joined together. Now I just have to click them in. Perfect, that's connected. And now we can re-secure this. Okay, re-secure this on here. Perfect. All right, so now we got the new sensor coming through here. let's resecure this bracket first. We'll bolt it up. Take the sensor itself, make sure there's no debris on the end of it, and then slide it into the hole. Make sure you bottom it out all the way. There we go. If you wanted to, you could lubricate that O-ring with some engine oil. Start the bolt in and snug it up. Once it bottoms out, give it another 1/8 of a turn, and that's it. It's installed. Let's put the shield back. Let's put this shield back. Make sure it lines up with both mounting points, and then start the screws in. Tighten them up. Just be careful because they do screw into plastic, so don't over tighten them or they'll strip the plastic and then they won't stay tight. And there you have it. Now with the new crank sensor, go ahead and start the vehicle and make sure it starts immediately. You don't want it to crank for a long time. That would be a bad sign. And then drive it around to make sure that it's all good.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.